now it's gone.
Then I can go on to Amazon and just click till I'm out of money.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Chris-Beth Cowie, and I'm the founder of Empowered for X and the host of BizGrams. Each day, I have the privilege of bringing to you exciting new guests and to talk about their stories, their entrepreneurial journeys, their authorship journeys. Today, I'm super excited because we have one of my excellent Ryan Knight back again, but this time as an author with his amazing daughter, Jasmine. So hi, Jasmine. Hi, Ryan. How are you all doing today?
Good.
Doing pretty good. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Jasmine, I'm super excited because you are the author of Jaz and Dad Start a Lemonade Stand. Tell us what inspired you to write this book? And I see you holding the book. I got my copy as well. What inspired you to write this book, Jasmine?
Well, I wanted to raise money by opening a lemonade stand to get the Nintendo Switch that I already have.
Awesome. And Ryan, how has this writing journey been for you?
It's interesting because Jasmine and I, we just brainstorm some stuff, and then you tell your friends and be like, hey, this is what we're thinking. And then you get some encouragement, you get a person to make pictures, and then suddenly it starts to get momentum. So it was pretty exciting, especially after, like Jasmine said, she'd always wanted this Nintendo Switch. We're like, okay, how do we earn that money? And we said, let's finish the book.
Awesome. And so, Jasmine, you finished the book, you got your Nintendo Switch. And what is something that you hope other kids could learn from reading your book?
That they can get whatever they want if they do it themselves.
Hey, I love it. And yes, so if you're looking today, we're here talking with Ryan and Jasmine, the author of Jaz and Dad Start a Lemonade Stand. And Jasmine just said, if you want anything, you can do it yourself. And so you got to write a book. You got to figure out ways to express your creativity to generate some money. And you guys did it. How much money? I know you did it through a GoFundMe, Kickstarter type of model. How much money did you actually raise from this journey?
Oh, what did we hit? So we were trying to get 1,500, and then we actually got $3,060. So Jasmine is able to now have her spending money that she's always excited to use each month. But yeah, so no longer having to ask Dad for money. She has her bank account, and we created a savings for her. And yeah, she's able to pick out things that she wants to get. And we're also saving for her college or university, or maybe the next business idea.
Or maybe a whole lot of more games.
Right. That's the saving side is for education.
Wow.
Yes. Why?
Yes. Okay. So I'm just curious as well, if you want to just tell us a little bit more about the story within the book. Do you want to take us on the journey that Jasmine went on in the book to make a lemonade stand and then get the Nintendo Switch?
You want to read some of it? How do you want to do it? Just talk about it? Okay, what happens in the book?
Well, I start up a lemonade stand, and apparently it's a doll that I wanted.
Yeah, so in the book, Jasmine is actually, I'll read you the first page. Actually, read the first page, I'll read the second page. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which page are you on? Yeah, you read that page.
One sunny afternoon in Brampton, Ontario, the Knight family gathered together to spend some quality time. After enjoying a family game and telling funny stories, they decided to watch television. When a commercial came on, it caught the attention of Jaz as it sang, Oh, she is so fancy. She is so fine. She is so beautiful and one of a kind. Jaz opened her eyes wide as she pointed at the screen to ask excitedly, Mom, Dad, may I get this doll? As she continued to point. First, Mom responded, short answer, no. Then Dad responded, long answer, no.
So Jaz started to plead with her parents. Please, 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 I need this doll. This doll will change my life, she proclaimed. Daddy Knight, seeing that this could continue for a while, said, Jaz, calm down. If your mother and I are not willing to buy it for you, what are your other options? Jaz thought for a moment, then blurted out the first thing that came to her mind. Okay, ask someone else to pay for it, Jaz said. Daddy Knight swiftly responded, not an option. Jaz put her hand on her head, furrowed her brow, and said, buy one for myself? Daddy Knight nodded, leaned in closer, and said, bingo. Jaz thought, what can I do to buy it for myself? So the story continues that we sit down, we go over what it costs to start a lemonade stand, what different supplies do you need. You need to buy lemons, you need to make a stand, you need sugar to make the lemonade, and then you have to sell. You have to find customers. So we go through cost of goods sold, marketing, placement. Like you find out that the first location isn't selling well, we got to move to another location. So really we use it as that genesis of entrepreneurship. And I feel like Jaz is 8 now. We started the journey when she was 7. Anybody that's starting or thinking of starting a business or has children should introduce them to entrepreneurship as soon as possible.
Yes, and I will second it. The book is great. I've shared it with my nieces. I've read it with my nieces.
Hold this, Jaz. I think my thing is dying.
And they love it as well. And the great thing is, I believe that entrepreneurship started at an early age is super important. So Jasmine, now that we have you here, what is something that you want to tell other kids about, one, potentially writing a book or entrepreneurship as a whole?
Well, first you gotta have a story.
Okay, and then what?
And then you gotta figure out the right words to tell it.
Cool. I love it. I love it. And you got to have a story. And I believe that everyone has a story. And so it's figuring out the right way, the right words to tell it. And yesterday we had an amazing guest, Deborah, who helps people bring out their story and essence. So Jasmine, she would definitely agree with you 100%. You have a story, find a way to tell it. And after one tells that story, you then go through that publishing process. And I know, Ryan, the book is self-published as well. And I don't know if you want to just talk to people about that journey.
Yeah, being able to meet creative interludes. So Asajafo, that we call Malik, I believe he goes by Malik as well. He was able to, we actually interviewed him on one of our podcasts, and he's talking about the power of publishing and getting your thoughts on the paper and having that legacy. And that was really the kick in the butt to say, hey, we can actually finish this book. We have help. So he helped us get it across the finish line, laying it out. Like, these are things that we really didn't think about. So having that support to now understand what it means to, what's the thing at the back? Like, actually get the barcode, the code, like all that stuff we didn't even think about. Copyrights and all that. So seeing like all the images and going back and forth with editing, it was pretty cool to see it get finished. And I don't think it would have ever got finished if we didn't get help and support.
Yeah, so even if you're considering going down that self-publishing route, finding some key supports along the way is so essential for the book completion. We oftentimes start, and I talked about my own journey yesterday, starting the book, and I've been talking about the book, but the book is not finished, right? And so making that commitment, and I think based on what you said in my own journey and reflection, getting those wraparound systems and supports to help me complete the book, right? So that's really cool. And so, Ryan, I know a main theme in the book is really to talk about entrepreneurship, resilience. And why do you think it is so important for kids to learn to develop those skills at a very young age?
Yeah, well, first, Jazz, how does it feel when you're able to spend your own money? Tell us about that.
It feels amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, is it better than asking dad for money?
Yeah, because now I finally have enough money to buy myself a phone, but you won't let me.
That was a different conversation. And you can't even afford it yet. You only have $100.
I told you about the scrap money.
Right. We're working towards that. So yeah, that's future plans. But this conversation with my daughter, typically I remember the conversations I had with my parents, it was only about help me buy this thing, and you're pretty much begging. So now Jazz will ask me for something, and then she can also say, okay, dad said no. I have money that I can either use this month or next month to go and get it myself. And I remember I started a paper route when I was 9, and that's when I was able to have my spending money and go to the store, my $5 and get your 1-cent candies. And it feels so empowering, right? So really entrepreneurship, I feel like, is the true tool for empowerment. It allows you to now control your own finances, and hopefully like you have people around you that can help you manage your finances, because it's so easy to spend it. I know, right, Jazz? It's easy to the money just spends somehow. It's gone.
Then I can go on to Amazon and just click till I'm out of money.
Exactly. So not putting all your money into one pool that is just going to be spent, but also having the savings. So she's seeing her savings grow while still being able to get the things that she wants to buy. That to me is like the real teaching tool. Like you don't have to neglect your children from stuff that they want. Just show them how to get it for themselves.
Hey, no, that's so powerful. This week as well on BizGrams, we had Stacey Brown and Mickey, who are the founders of Kidonomics, right? And I know that Jasmine and Christian, your kids, attend Kidonomics. So I just wanted to, Jasmine, how has that experience been for you learning about financial literacy as a young person?
It's been nice.
Yeah? What's something that you learned recently on Kidonomics?
I learned that I can save my money and spend them at the same time.
Cool. So setting some boundaries around savings and spending, that's super awesome. One of the pages in your books that I really liked, and I feel like I helped to contribute a little to it, is the receipt, right? So in the book, you have, this is kind of the checklist, the things that you wanted, but when you actually went into the store, and I'm going to zoom in a little, you got a receipt from the store. You had the cups, the sugar, the lemons, and then at the bottom, there was a whole set of stuff. The subtotal, the taxes, the total, and then you kind of saw the change rendered and the cash given to the tender and the change as well. So for me, like seeing this, I got really excited because I remember, and I shared the story, one of the math classes that I took in high school was math for everyday life. And it was in that class, it really generated my learning and understanding around financial literacy, how to read a receipt. What does this mean? And so in terms of, financial literacy, what message do you have for young people as well as older people looking at our show here today?
Well, and that piece was so key because initially, and we talked about it before the book was published, we just had the picture of the things that you need. And I feel like that's the general statement that you get in schools, like, oh, these are things that you're going to need in the real world. But when you actually go into the real world, that $30 that you thought would buy your stuff actually doesn't cut it because there's taxes. Yes. There's just things that you weren't prepared for. So now you could either be disappointed because you were unprepared, or now seeing in the book, we added, this is what the real receipt would look like. We had to factor in the extra $4 in tax. So yeah, like that piece to introduce that to youth really early. I mean, adults sometimes need to see it because if you're in high school, a lot of times you haven't seen receipts or bills and invoices. So now, yeah, just the early introduction to seeing real world items And that's what now, when we go to the store, Jaz will ask, like, oh, how much did that cost? And we can have those conversations about different things that we're buying. It really changes the landscape of how we talk to our children. Like finances is usually so ignored. I remember it was such a dirty topic, like to bring up finances to your parents. It was always just, don't worry about that. That's not any of your business. But now we're trying to really open it up so we get comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm. And Jasmine, what are your thoughts about financial literacy for kids?
I'd say that it's a pretty tough topic right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot to learn, right?
Because usually I'll just sneak out there and see and throw it in the garbage.
Yeah, but now do you look at it in a different way now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And honestly, to your point, Jasmine, there's so much to learn about financial literacy, and exactly where you're starting with your dad and your family. It's that one thing. Let's look at the receipts. Let's talk about what this means, and then building on that, right? And I go back to the folks over at Kidinomics, really giving youth the full scope of things that they should learn and apply to their lives around financial literacy, which is so essential.
And so, having, like, because now she's doing the math around, okay, I have $100 this month. This thing costs $54 plus tax, and then she'll calculate how much she has left. So that whole conversation around knowing what something costs, it's not just money growing on trees when you ask your parents and it appears on Christmas Day. There's a process to actually purchasing things and understanding that, yeah, you have to earn the money to be able to spend the money. And now she's actually more careful with her $100 because she knows it's finite. Like, this is how much I have to spend. So I just don't, like you said, click on Amazon and spend all your money.
Because nowadays, I'll just go calculate, I'll have $100, and then I'll use the scrap money, some of it, to pay the rest.
Yes, and so for those that don't know, her scrap money is the change that she gets. She's been putting it into a tin. She calls it the scrap. Oh, and birthday money is in there too, right? Yeah. So your side savings.
Birthday money is usually $50.
Okay.
That's right.
You get a lot for birthdays. Ryan, you gotta send me some birthday money.
Yes.
But no, what I heard there was so powerful, in terms of kids go to school oftentimes and it's boring. I know with the digital classrooms right now, it's like a whole nother world, and you're hearing more boredom, you're hearing disconnect from their peers, all of these things. But I think what you just shared, Ryan, about, yes, they're doing the math in the classroom, and this experience of not just writing a book, but actually taking Jasmine through that transactional pieces when you're in the grocery store, it brings it to life, right? And that is what it's all about, experiential learning, so that it has the greater impact in the classroom. And I'm sure, Jasmine, when you see those type of questions, you're like, I know this, I got this. And so that's really powerful as well. In terms of the book, so I have a special announcement. Empowered FX has purchased 5 of these books, and we are giving them away. So if you know a child that you want to give a gift to, we're giving you the opportunity today to register. It will be in the description. Register on our platform, and you will get a chance to enter to win the prize. We're closing the draw at the end of the month. You have to be an entrepreneur. So that's one of the requirements to be in. We want to learn about your business. We want to learn about you. You have to be either a past guest on BizGrams or a future guest. So we want to have you, the entrepreneur, come on here and tell your story. And there's a couple other things. So liking us on Facebook, following us on Instagram, and you get a chance to win this book that you could then give away to someone or share with your own kids, or nieces or nephews.
Yeah, seeing some of the people that bought the book share pictures with their kids reading the book together, that's been really cool. We actually wanted to put that on the website, just images of parents reading with their children. And it is that, how would you say, like the experience together with the book. It's not just a book to give to your kid and be like, hey, good luck, especially because there's math equations in there. So it might be a bit early to just leave them on with it, but reading it with them and walking them through. I think there's division in there, addition, multiplication, and then like you said, like understanding a receipt. There'll be questions that your child is asking. So being there with them as they're reading it is really important.
Yeah. When I read the book with my nieces, I got the question, what does that mean? I was like, it is what your mommy and daddy or I get when we go to the grocery store. And that's where that page stood out for me so much, because receipt is so important. And mind you, my niece, the youngest, is 3 at the time. And so, yes, new concepts. And I definitely would agree, parents alongside their kids or guardians alongside their kids reading and going through the book with them. And the images are great. The renditions. Yeah. Who did your illustrations for you?
So a gentleman named Earl Houghton. We actually met him. He lives in Jamaica. Did you know his daughter is also named Jasmine? Isn't that cool?
At the same time.
Yeah. So when he heard the name of the book, he's like, Jaz and Dad. Oh, I'm in. I want to help with this. And what do you think about the images? Do you think it looks like us? What do you think?
Does that look like Jasmine?
Oh, when we're at the table, this is the one that I like the best. Yeah. So we're together at the table. Hold on. Can you see it properly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that looks like us?
I'll hold it.
I think that's a little bit too much beard.
Look, the beard's coming in now.
The beard's coming in, but it's still
yeah. And no, we did not commission Kanye West to be in our book. I keep getting those emails.
Hey, that's funny. But no, it has been awesome having both of you on the show. I guess one of the questions that my viewers are always interested in, what are some of the challenges that you encountered along the way while writing this book, and how did you overcome it?
Ooh, what do you think was the hardest part?
Remember that night where we had to practice drawing it?
Oh,
that was the hardest part.
So yeah, we mocked up each of the pages. So I think it started with the first cover page, and we had to draw it ourselves to see what the page could look like. And I do not draw. Jasmine loves to draw. So it was her initial mock-up that we sent to Earl to see what he could do with it. And then so before we did any other pages, he did this first cover page. And I knew it was like, yeah, that's the one, right? Because he blew us out the water.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Ryan, I want to say thank you to yourself. You have an entrepreneurial family budding there, and it's so impactful and powerful to see. One day, hopefully, we could have the whole team on here and you all tell your own stories, right? And I think that is really cool. Jasmine, on your entrepreneurial journey, I think it is awesome. I wish at your age I had written my first book. And for viewers out there, it's never too late. Yesterday, we had our guest share. At 54, I believe it was, she started her entrepreneurial journey. So whether you're 8 or 54 or beyond, it's never too late. The main takeaway that our guest yesterday shared was get started, right? And so one of the questions that I have for both of you is, what is something phonetical you do to express self-love? And so, Jasmine, phonetical is a big word, but it's my word and it's fun word. It stands for fun and epic combined. So I did a word smash, phonetical. And so fun and epic adventures. So great or small things that you do to express self-love. So what is something that you do to express love in a phonetical way?
That would be hangouts.
Can you tell me a little bit more about Hangout? What is it?
It's an app.
Okay.
It's available on a Chromebook, any type of computer, really, and phones.
And what do you do on Hangout?
I hang out with my friends Aaliyah, Natasha, and Aiden.
Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. Hangouts, eh? So I think I learned a new application to check out today. That's really cool. Do you guys play games on there?
Well, you can't really play games, but you can send the links to Roblox and stuff.
Okay, cool, cool. So I know you're like a little coding website person over there as well. You know, you built your own website, which was super cool. I don't think we mentioned that, but Jasmine built the website for this book, to sell this book. So we'll make sure that link is in the description as well, that you get access to it. But
that's where we say, like, any entrepreneurs that we bump into in our journey, if they do not have a website, they literally have no excuse. Like, that is so, like, 101, because it blew me away when Jasmine called me over to say, hey, come check out the website I started putting together. I was like, this is way better than the first website I built. So you're on the right track.
Hey,
It actually wasn't that easy. I just had to go to the website. It was the Wix website that I had to create, and it actually wasn't that hard.
Exactly. So that's the message to all the other entrepreneurs out there that do not have a website, or their website looks like it's from the 80s. Check out Wix, plug and play, get it up, and make it look better today.
Yeah. Hey, I think Wix could give you guys a sponsorship.
Sponsorship.
That's really cool.
Spending money.
More spending money.
Yeah. Wait, if they're sponsoring us, shouldn't we be paying them?
No, other way around. They pay us to talk about their website. Yeah.
Oh. I thought it was just them paying us.
Yeah, to be spokespersons for their website. We'll send them an email.
I thought it was like being on TV and then just paying somebody.
Oh, maybe. You want to be on TV? Oh, don't say that. Why are you being shy? Look, you did an awesome interview.
Yeah, this is your first TV, interview. It is streamed worldwide, so we're on Facebook. You can take your little clip and share it to the folks at Wix, and I think that is super awesome. Even a kid, an 8-year-old kid, could build their website for themselves to promote their product. So that is really powerful. I saw Jasmine got a little idea there. She's like, good thoughts. Yes. That's awesome. So Ryan and Jasmine, it has been a privilege having both of you here, from our team at Empowered Facts to your team over there at the Knight household. You guys are rocking over there, sending you all lots of love. But finally, tell our viewers how they can find your website. What is your website called to get the book?
Yeah, because we have to create a customized domain, because it's Jaz and Dad Inc. But then there's a number. So I guess we'll put the link in the description.
Yes.
But yeah, if you click on the link, then, or if you wanted to support Jaz, her email's jasminerose.knight@gmail.com.
Or 864-514@pdsp.net.
Yeah, but that's hard to remember. It's easy for you because it's your number. But yeah, the Jasmine Rose Knight one is better. So jasminerose@gmail.com.
That's awesome. Thank you, folks.
Yeah.
And remember, the competition to get a free book, the free book is also in the description. So before March 31st, you want to get online, you want to apply, and you get a chance to get your book shipped to you. And it is Canada only. If you're in the US and you want to get the book, reach out to us directly and we can give you a hookup, or anywhere else in the world for a matter of fact. But yes, Canada competition only. Thank you so much and take care. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow on BizGrams again. Take care. Bye.
Bye.